Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. In this video we're going to react to the absolute latest news regarding the wildfires. So this morning when I woke up, immediately saw notifications on my phones. At least 5 people have died now. It's insane. This thing just started just like that. I mean, at least it felt like to me, just out of nowhere. And then they just immediately started tearing into people's homes, burning wild amounts, huge amounts of the bushes and residential areas. It's just insane how quickly this fire or the multiple fires have developed. I'm hearing that multiple people, celebrities and everybody else having to evacuate their homes, because there's just no stopping these fires. I think from what I understand, it's the fact that the wind speeds are so high, so it's throwing embers all over the place, starting new fires. So you've got somebody, a team dealing with a fire in this area. There's another fire starting over there. They rush over there. There's a fire over there. It's insane.
This is the most gruesome scene I've ever seen in my life. It's like a war zone.
All the stuff that says replaceable, people are not. So having a family is the most important thing.
We start tonight
look at the
tracking
sky.
several wildfires burning in LA County. Homes, schools, and entire communities have been destroyed.
Jeez.
And take a look at this map of the at least 5 fires that we are tracking in Southern California right now. The Sunset Fire sparking earlier this evening in the Hollywood Hills. The Palisades Fire is still the largest, burning north of Santa Monica and Pacific Palisades. And there's the deadly Eaton Fire in Altadena. And rounding out the list, the Hearst and Lydia fires.
So these are just the major fires. This isn't accounting for the smaller ones that are all over the city. So there's 5 major fires.
Okay, take a look at the current size of the fires tonight.
Wow.
At last check, the Palisades Fire is close to 16,000 acres. The
16,000?
Eden Fire is now more than 10,000 acres. The Hearst Fire is approaching 1,000 acres. The Lydia Fire is less than 500 acres. And it's the only fire with some containment at 40% tonight. Meanwhile, the Sunset Fire in the Hollywood Hills is 50 acres. And sadly, several people have died and more than 1,000 structures have been destroyed. We do have a lot to cover tonight. I'm Chris Thomas.
I'm Laura Painter. Thank you so much for joining us. The flames are leaving a path of destruction and stretching resources thin. New tonight, we are learning all schools across the LA Unified School District will be closed tomorrow as President Biden today signs off on a federal disaster declaration.
I mean, yeah, closing the schools does make sense because being on the road, you never know when a new fire is going to start up. Jeez, this is enormous.
This is new aerial video of a 6th fire breaking out Wednesday night. The Sunset Fire, based in the Hollywood Hills. Mandatory evacuations were issued Wednesday night.
I live here. I've been here for 21 years, but yeah, it's time to get out, I think.
This is new video of traffic gridlock as people flee their homes for safety. Thousands of homes and businesses destroyed.
It's just jumping from home to home right now. With this wind, there's nothing to stop it.
Wow.
Wind gusts reaching 100 miles per hour, making fighting the flames difficult.
The fires being fueled by a combination of strong Santa Ana winds and surrounding topography, which makes it extremely challenging for us firefighters.
LA's Mayor Karen Bass returning to California today from an overseas trip to Ghana, speaking to the public, thanking first responders and reminding residents to heed evacuations.
Hurricane-force winds are usually accompanied by rainstorms, but these are hurricane-force winds that are combined with extremely dry drought conditions.
Those who evacuated unsure of what they'll return home to.
My God, look at that. I thought that was a person for a second there. This house has just been completely, the steel beams have been melted and warped.
This is pretty devastating.
Crazy.
This is pretty devastating. I don't think LA's seen anything like this before.
As of Wednesday night, the largest
Even the
and
ones
most
a few years
devastating
ago.
fires so far are the Palisades Fire and the deadly Eaton Fire. In Pasadena, the Eaton Fire claimed at least 5 lives and also destroyed structures. A preschool went up in flames. As you see here, first responders ushered residents out of a senior living facility to safety, masks on to protect them from the dangerous air conditions. And a warning from the Los Angeles County District Attorney after 2 people were arrested for looting.
If you think for a moment.
Wow. Honestly, why are people like that? There's a massive emergency going on and people are just trying to, take advantage of it. It's like, what's wrong with them?
That you can take advantage of this right now or over the next weeks, months, or even years. You are wrong.
And Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods is standing by with a closer look at conditions tonight. Is there any relief in sight, Monica?
What the good thing is our particularly dangerous situation with those winds close to 80 to 100 miles per hour has expired. That happened earlier today, but the red flag warning is still in effect until Friday at 6 p.m. So we're still expecting gusts anywhere from 50 to 75 miles per hour. Tonight, we're seeing those winds sustained close to 35 to about 30 miles per hour, mostly around the Malibu area, close to where that Palisades fire is burning.
So at least those rapid winds, those 100 miles an hour winds, they're going to slow down. So that's going to maybe stop the fires from spreading so easily, the embers being spread around the place.
Over towards the Eaton fire, still have those offshore winds from the San Gabriel Mountains, and in those canyons, they just funneled through and really accelerate, making for a dangerous firefight. Current air quality, we were hearing about that. Laura was mentioning how the air quality really poor, especially around the fire lines. This is going to continue to settle into some of the lower elevations for tonight, as depicted by our smoke forecast. You can see right in the LA basin here, a little bit of those offshore winds, but we'll continue to monitor that, unfortunately, until there's better containment. Now, the high pressure ridge starting to take over our weather. That will help to bring down some of the wind conditions in Southern California and here locally as well. Hourly weather forecast, we have fairly calm winds for tonight, just a light northwest wind for tomorrow. A little bit of patchy fog tomorrow, but then we quickly turn our attention to some changing weather conditions. We'll be warmer than average with patchy morning fog, but weekend wind making a return, guys.
Good to know, Monica. Thank you. Resources from across the state have been mobilized.
Like, how are you guys doing? I asked this in the yesterday's video that I made on this. Like, Californians, anyone who has family there, how are you? Are you all right? Are you coping with this? Is your property safe? How are you guys doing?
Mobilized to tackle the Los Angeles area wildfires.
Firefighters are fighting tough conditions, including high winds and fast-moving flames. ABC 10's Garshpal Sangha is live in Sacramento with more on the local resources being sent to help.
Yeah, Chris, Sacramento Fire Department, one of many agencies across the Northern California to send firefighters down south to help battle these wildfires.
That's
and
awesome. So people are helping
working
out
with the different resources across the state and also with neighboring states. And some of the regional firefighters that have gone there, we're told they were put to work quickly to try to stop these wildfires. As the fires rage on in Southern California.
Man, the smoke as well. That's another thing. Breathing in all of this smoke has got to be terrible for your lungs, like your respiratory system.
The destruction is stark. Photos from the front lines show the devastating impact of these flames.
We do our best, and today we were successful in some, and we were unsuccessful in others, unfortunately.
Jeff Serpa, a Modesto Fire Battalion chief, led crews from other Stanislaus County fire departments to the Eaton fire near Pasadena. What the photos don't highlight are the strong winds around them.
When we have, 60 to 80 mile an hour sustained winds and 80 to 100 mile an hour gusts,
it makes them
really
stronger.
Challenges our ability to protect people's homes.
Despite these difficult conditions, Serpa and his crews are doing everything they can to protect people's homes. But that isn't the only thing they have to worry about. Another issue, some people not evacuating in time.
People coming in and out of our area, running over our hose lines, so we have to replace them because they pop.
We're definitely used to this type of topography that we're heading to.
Battalion Chief Andy Cranston with Fairfield Fire Department is heading with this crews to the Hearst Fire near San Fernando.
We can obviously show up to this fire, and if they don't need us, they'll recommit us to one of the other fires in Southern California.
Coordination across departments and even states is a key factor in California's response to these wildfires. The California Master Mutual Aid Agreement ensures that resources are available when needed most.
One of the most disastrous things that we've seen here in California in a very long time.
Sean Boyd with the California Office of Emergency Services.
Right now, there is fierce wind, down power lines.
This is
power
insane.
Poles toppled over.
Just the whole street.
Gas lines are on fire. Flames are coming back over PCH or being blown by fierce winds. It is like driving through hell itself down here.
It does. This looks crazy, like a movie.
I would say it is somewhat surprising to have, such a devastating event in January. I think it's no surprise that we basically have a year-round fire season in California. However, such a destruction on this scale is not often seen in the month of January.
Are these fires worse than the wildfires? You know, the ones of a few years ago in California, the bushfires? This feels like it's worse.
The obvious impact of climate change in this situation is that the average number of days per year where the vegetation is very available for fire has doubled since the 80s. So the fire season has been growing longer and longer in California.
Just raging fire. Man, I really, this is like surreal. Yeah, state of emergency. It's just dark and red and the fog. Scary stuff. One of the news reporters, she referred to it as like driving through hell, and it did look like that, honestly, because it was just wherever you looked, left, right, up, it was just dark. The only light was coming from the blaze, like the red, yellow blazing fires. It was just, it's insane, man. Honestly, it's tragic, but the fact that only 5 people have died so far is a miracle, considering the thousands and thousands of acres that are currently like just burning away right now. Like, it's those 5 people, obviously it's a completely horrible, devastating thing. You know, it's a tragedy, but I just hope it's kept to that number, because, you know, they said one of the fires was 16,000 acres. Like, that's like the size of a small town. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.